is the 9th of December 2002. Only 15 more sleeps until Santa Claus arrives, but unfortunately, only 6 more sleeps until Triple H steals the title back off of Shawn Michaels. Welcome back, guys, to Fall Wrestling. It's time to review Monday Night Raw for the 9th of December 2002. We know that Shawn Michaels lost his smile a long time ago, but according to the Nature Boy, he's lost his heart. I didn't quite get this tonight. The whole show was focused on Shawn Michaels' heart, or his lack of heart. But you know what? It was okay. We can deal with it. Just because Ric Flair was ranting and raving about heart that Michaels ain't lost just because he lost his a long time ago, that doesn't matter to me. And that's actually what we're going to kick off on this list. Number 5 with the Ric Flair promo. Ric Flair, we've got Triple H just beating Jeff Hardy. Ric Flair calls Shawn Michaels into the ring, puts him over, blows smoke up his ass, says you were the man. Arn Anderson used to say, have you seen Shawn Michaels? And Ric Flair was like, what? Shawn Michaels the rocker? No, Shawn Michaels the Heartbreak Kid.
The showstopper.
Ric Flair used to say that he had to go, well, he not used to say, he said that he used to go into the mirror and look at it and he had to accept that he was no longer the man and that the man was Shawn Michaels. But now it's time for Shawn Michaels to go into that room that no wrestler likes to go into and look into the mirror and accept that he's no longer the man and that the man is this guy right here, Triple H. It was a good promo. I liked it. It was probably Flair's best promo since coming back, or at least his best promo, I would say, since his feud with like McMahon/Taker. So like probably his best stuff in like nearly a year.
9 months, 10 months, around that region. Absolutely.
But the context for me was a bit off.
Yes, he's off. Michaels hasn't lost his heart. I think he could have just... But, you know, it's not even as much as Flair. This is...
No, but I can understand if Michaels had the belt for 6 months and he was beginning to put in, like, sloppy performance. The guy's just won the title. How the fuck can he not have a heart anymore?
Don't question my heart.
But look at Rocky 3, right? When Rocky loses his heart, that's after, like, multiple years and about 10 title defences.
Aye, Michaels has had 1.
No, I mean, that was after, alright, and fucking he got saved, to be honest, by Triple H. But when Rocky lost heart, that was over a period of years after, like, 10 title defences in a row against substandard competition. Shawn Michaels only won the belt a few weeks ago at Survivor Series. I just don't think... This makes more sense, in my opinion, if Shawn Michaels has had the belt for about 6 months. And
he's getting complacent, he's getting stale,
and he's maybe just pulling out victories out of nowhere
against Tommy Dreamer and
stuff like that. But I don't know, to question Shawn Michaels' heart after he's beat Triple H in back-to-back pay-per-views, I don't quite get it. But whatever, it was a good promo for Flair. I just didn't think it made a lot of sense.
I'm not going to blame Flair too much, but because he's been given this script at the end of the day. It's not like he's the one that's made up this thing that he's got no heart. You sometimes get given shit, and you have to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And I think Flair, it was a no bad chicken salad.
It was a no bad chicken salad, but let's toss that salad because we're continuing the salad theme, the Flair theme. Shawn Michaels, parking lot. He wanted Triple H, he got Triple H, hit him with a big fucking shovel, hit Ric Flair with a super kick, threw Triple H into the trash where Bret Hart thinks he belongs, and then he proceeded to climb to the top of an 18-wheeler and dive off with the diving elbow. Not quite as good as Test's diving elbow, but a good elbow drop nonetheless.
The writing's on the wall though once you come up strong against your opponent.
Yeah, how's that hard for you?
How's that hard for you, man? We landed on a bunch of plastic.
If Shawn Michaels had a heart the size of Triple H's nose, he'd never fucking lose, I tell you that.
No, he'd be pumping half the world's blood.
Coming in at number 3, hello, Val. We've got Kane. He just interrupted Bischoff's match, the match that Bischoff made, RVD Batista. Bischoff wanted to see RVD get punished. Kane wanted revenge on Batista. He got it. Chief Morley wasn't too happy about it. He blasted Kane for ruining Bischoff's match, his big match, and Kane just proceeded to rip the piss out of Morley by going back to his Val Venus days.
Yeah, this was brilliant for Kane, and you know what, right, as much as I prefer Kane as a monster, he can do comedy as well. This is a real goat of wrestling. I mean, the guy can do it all. He reminds me of Kurt Angle, man. The guy can... Like, some of his comedy stuff is the best.
What you gonna do when 20,000 Canaanites?
Yeah, and then, like, when he's coming down with the chains on him and, you know, like, the voice box, all that... Even the stuff he did with Brian here. I know it's the PG era and we're supposed to bury it, but it wasn't actually that bad. The Kane stuff.
Kane's underrated. Kane's a fucking legend.
Yeah, and you know what? Oh, Jim Cornette can fucking cry about where his allegiance lies in the 2024 election, but you know what? Fuck you, Jim.
I mean, if I could change one thing about Kane, it would probably be I just wish he was a little bit of a better worker. Not that he's bad, but I think if
Not quite Taker, is he?
I think if he had Taker's in-ring ability, I think Kane would be considered on that. For me, he would be top tier.
Yeah.
I would consider him A-list tier or whatever. I do consider him a legend. I think the guy's great. And, I mean, I maybe prefer some of his stuff over Taker. Especially, I think, the mid-2000s. I think Kane, I don't know, I think Taker's return to the Deadman gimmick in SmackDown's not that great,
yeah,
to be fair.
I think Taker in 04 is just a bit... The hair's not long enough.
No, it's not.
Neither's the fucking coat. No, that's a bad period for SmackDown.
I just think if Kane was a little bit of a better in-ring worker.
Yep, he would.
Now, I'm not saying Kane has bad matches, right? But see when you're watching Kane Triple H, it's not. Kane, it's not great.
Kane is like the Triple H of DX, isn't he? Kane is Triple H and Taker is Michaels.
You know what? Maybe, yeah, it's like... I think... Is it fair to say that for them to have a great match, they both need great opponents?
I'd say so, yes.
And when they're against each other... Because the Kane Triple H matches just weren't that good.
No.
I'm going to be honest, like, they weren't.
Let's call a spade a spade.
But this segment was great, so it is what it is. Coming in number 2, speaking of great matches, I don't give a fuck. I'd put this up against anything today. Great selling. The work of Jacqueline, being the underdog, being the woman, being, like, not as strong as Stevie Richards, and just the psychology of this match. I mean, it only lasted, like, 4 minutes, but it was a great 4-minute match. Stevie Richards versus Jacqueline. Fantastic. And best match I've seen. Better than anything I've seen in Raw 2023.
He said it'd show us and we'll see. We absolutely seen. It was great.
The big Stevie DDT planted.
See, this is how it's done. Intergender. Well, actually, you know what? This show's actually got 2 cases of intergender matches, but I mean, this is how it's done.
Yeah, I don't see Rhea Ripley fucking dominating anybody here.
Like, wrestling's problem today is, it's like, we've seen it with Tozawa against Rhea Ripley. They actually booked it as if she was the man.
Aye.
And I get it, Tozawa's not the biggest of men, but at the end of the day, like, I mean, he got booked like a fucking primary school.
And he still wasn't allowed to do any offense.
Yeah, so come on.
Even though she's the bigger person, probably weighs more than Tozawa as well. Physically bigger, taller. I don't know.
Like, Jacqueline's a strong woman, but at the end of the day, Stevie Richards is a fucking man.
Yeah, and he won. And it's the commentary as well. It's like Jim Ross keeps questioning, I don't think this is fair. It's like everything about this is fantastic. Whereas when you look at the Rhea Ripley Tozawa match, the commentators were ripping the piss out of Tozawa, almost making it sound like it wasn't fair on Tozawa's behalf.
Yeah.
And it's goofy, like they're booking it so that Tozawa can't do any... Tozawa's only offense is defense.
In a defensive position.
That's just this is an intergender match done properly. So if you want to see good intergender wrestling, and I'm not a big fan of it, but I think I believe WWE done it better than anybody.
Absolutely. Ruthless Aggression era intergender wrestling.
I'm thinking the other companies that have done it and they didn't do it that good.
No, they didn't. No, I think this was the best period. Like, we've seen consistent months here, especially under Bischoff's reign.
With Trish and like Bubba and stuff, Molly Holly.
Yeah, Victoria now.
Regal. There's been lots of good stuff. So I would say this is definitely the best period of intergender wrestling in wrestling history. People will say, Japan or Lucha Underground or shit like that. But nah, see for me, when you look back at Lucha Underground, I still think it was booked to 50-50.
Aye, Lucha Underground. I wouldn't mind reviewing Lucha Underground.
Well, that's what we're going to do. Lucha Underground, I think, will replace ECW.
Might replace TNA.
On Wednesdays, buddy. Right. What do we have up next? Number 1 spot, Intergender. We're going to stay on that theme. 6-person Intergender table match. It was the Dudleys and Trish versus Victoria, Jericho, and Christian. I mean, this match had everything. It felt like it lasted forever, but it didn't drag either.
Yeah, it had the entirety of the Raw mid-card, and they delivered. Not one person let themselves down here. The interferences were... I compared it to Maniac 7's interferences, where I thought they were done pretty much perfect to a T, and this is just... Everyone knows what they're doing.
You got Lance Storm and Regal, Booker T and Goldie, literally everybody, anybody who can run in, did run in.
And this is what happens when men can attack women and vice versa. Not today, where they stand in the ring and look at each other.
I'm pretty sure we got Spike as well.
Aye, we did. We had Spike. Spike
fucking
thrown to the outside.
Dudley Dog, and he landed right in his arse. So yeah, we pretty much got everything here. Just a great match, and then at the end, we had Trish putting Victoria through the table. And that was it, guys. This was the main event. This was the last match of the night. Definitely delivered one of the best matches I think we've seen in a very, 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 very long time. So, yeah, topped off a pretty good Raw, guys. There's top 5 moments. Definitely a good Raw. So, yeah, great 6-man, 6-person table match. I mean, could it have been better if it was limited? Like, it was so chaotic. And it was like...
Chaotic?
Chaotic. What did I say? Chaotic? Jesus Christ. It was so chaotic, and like there was only one table spot. But sometimes that's what you need. I mean, you could argue it would have been better if it was elimination, but it might have been, it might have been all over the place. Who knows? It was good. I wouldn't change it. So there you go, guys. There's your list there. We'll catch you in the next one. That's the top 5 moments. Till next time. Been Fog Wrestling. Peace.